Greetings, sports fans. This is George with Custom Tied Flies and Guide Service. And we're going to do a tutorial on my CT Grizzly Alevin. This is what it looks like when it's done. I'm going to show it to you all the way around. Excuse me. And I will walk you through this with the materials as we go. And of course, the ingredients, the recipe will be in the description. Excuse me. So we're going to start off with a Daiichi 1560 in a number 8. And this is just essentially the same hook as a Mustad 3906B. It's a 1X long nymph hook. So we're going to put 10 wraps of hairline 0.020 inch lead wire in this. So 10 wraps. I'm going to start them off back here in the back. No, that wasn't part of the plan. There we go. Okay, I'm going to slide them back out of the way for a minute. Of course, on a weighted fly, I like to use red thread. It lets me know which ones are weighted and which ones are not. So, sometimes I use brown thread, but in this case I'm using red. So I'm going to get, this is 140D Danville Fly Master. And I'm going to get tied in up here in the front. And I want to be about a gap width behind the eye. Put a stopper right here in the back. Yeah, I was going to put a whip on there, but a couple of half hitches in the back is fine. Again, this is what I do for durability. I like to tie my bugs in sections. Don't worry about that. If that thread comes loose, it's not going to make any difference. Set that off to dry. Okay. Then we're going to switch to Danville Fly Master in a 70 denier. And we can tie in back here in the back. Make a dubbing loop, 4 or 5 inches long. We're going to run the thread forward. So you're a little better than a gap width behind the eye. I'm going to put my turbo twister on here. I'm going to bring my bobbin cradle around. I got my camera in the way of the bobbin rest. So we're going to do a couple of half hitches right here. Then next up, I have Senyo Laser Dub and Silver Minnow. And I'm just going to stuff that into an unwaxed dubbing loop. Now, I tried using wax on this earlier, and for me, at this point, the unwaxed loop worked better because I need to be able to slide this around, and when you put wax on it, it doesn't slide around very well. You just keep taking it out, putting it on in little wisps. You don't want anything big, thick. That's not enough quite yet. Almost there. You're going to take this all the way down to the turbo twister. Make sure you got, there we go. We've got to put more in there. When you rake this out, you want this fiber to be visible. I'll show you what I mean here. I'm going to get a dubbing brush here, kind of fool with it some. Almost there, about one more turn. There we go. No, too much. There we go. Oh. There we go. Okay. Now you're going to brush that out. Okay, next up is your standard. I'm using Cascade Crest standard Estaz in Opal Orange. Standard size is 15 millimeter. And you want to get your raked back end. All right. And you just kind of fold those fibers back as you go around. And you want close touching wraps of this Estaz. Now these little stragglers up here, you want to get them out of the way before they become a nuisance. And you're going to rake this forward. And you're going to give him a flat top. All right, next up is black ice wing. You're just going to grab a couple of strands. You're going to fold those over the thread. All right. Next up is this is a Grizzly saddle. It's a streamer saddle. So it's like a grade 3 or whatever. You're going to want to pull your feathers for the next step off of the bottom part here down towards where the neck would connect to the saddle. So about that long. And you're going to want them to be really up towards the top. There we go. Take a couple of cinching wraps here. Boy, I keep hitting that camera. There we go. That's a little better. All right. I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to build my head. I don't want to pull too hard on this thread because 70 denier is Well, of course, it's not as strong as the 140, obviously. All right, there's my head. Put a whip on that. Now, one thing you could do, since here's your next step, you could tie this with all white thread and then just color the head with a Sharpie, whatever color you want it. That's always an option. Again, you're the guy behind the vise. Okay. Here comes your next step. I like the brush on super glue. It's this Gorilla brand. You don't have to use this, but you don't want to try to use UV resin on this yet. These are 5mm 3D silver baitfish eyes. All right. Gonna give that a few seconds to dry. All right, next up, got some Solares. This is thick. Not real thick, but thick enough. And I'm going to fill in this gap between the eyes here. And I'm going to do the same thing on the top. Okay. Then I got some Solares thick here in a bottle that's got a brush applicator. So I'm just going to paint that head. we're just going to take a minute to talk about what an Alevin is. If you don't know, it's the stage before he's juvenile, but he's just newly hatched, I guess you could say. So of course the orange color represents the yolk sac, and this color back here is kind of like the egg white kind of thing. And this is his body. So that's the CT Grizzly Alevin. Hope this tutorial was helpful and interesting. Please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And you can find this and other cool bugs on Custom Tide Virtual Fly Shop's website at www.custom-tide.com. That's CUSTOM-TIED.com. Have a splash. Don't forget the dash. Happy tying.